Today on the news, Governor Fubara calls on Nigeria's judiciary, political leaders to stand firm on truth, justice. National Assembly wants present funding model inadequate to fight insecurity challenges. Plus, federal government seals plateau mine after gas leak kills 37. Good afternoon. River State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. My name is Severi Enida. You're welcome once again to the news at 3 today on Rstv. River State Governor Nalai Fubara has called on Nigerian judiciary and political leaders to stand firmly on the side of truth and justice as they serve the nation. Governor Fubara made the appeal at a state banquet government house in Port Harcourt, honoring retired appellate jurist Obietombara Owupele Daniel Kalio, who bowed out after decades on the bench of the Court of Appeal. His report.
Represented by his deputy, Professor Ngozi Maodo, the governor described the event as a fitting tribute to a distinguished jurist whose years on the bench were marked by integrity, diligence, and an unwavering commitment to the cause of justice. The state chief executive noted that the occasion was a moment of pride and reflection for both the celebrant and the state, stressing that the retiring jurist demonstrated exceptional wisdom and courage in the discharge of his duties, leaving behind a legacy of excellence that will continue to inspire both the bench and the bar. According to him, as he bows out of active judicial service, he will be celebrated for his legacy of excellence, wisdom, and selfless service to humanity, praying that his new chapter will bring him continued fulfillment, good health, and the opportunity to keep inspiring generations within and beyond the legal community.
This remarkable event is a fitting tribute to a distinguished jurist whose years on the bench have been marked by integrity, diligence, and unwavering commitment to the cause of justice. His contributions, as we have heard today, to the legal profession and to the development of jurisprudence remain invaluable and enduring.
Governor Fubara also congratulated the jurist, his wife, and the children for their
reactions from a cross-section of the people and residents of the state. While some describe it as a welcome development, others are concerned about the sustainability of the peace deal.
The people of Rivers State can now heave a sigh of relief and sleep with their two eyes closed following the successful settlement of the rift between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, which held the state on the jugular for over 2 years, leading to the declaration of a state of emergency. In his reaction, Ezendigbo Buruburu Rivers State, His Majesty Sam Okolo commended President Bola Tinubu for his timely intervention. He appealed to political actors and parties to the crisis to shield their swords and work collectively in the interest of the state.
I thank the President has shown he is the father of this nation, being able to make this peace to come to reality. And we are so grateful, we are happy about it, and I will encourage our noble minister and our amiable governor to keep working together to make sure their heart desire politically is achieved. So it's a good thing, because where peace is eluded, progress can be found there. So We pray this peace has come to stay, and this peace will remain in Rivers State.
Others commended Governor Siminalayi Fubara for making sacrifices and remaining firm in his belief and disposition for peace. They called on the supporters of the key actors to guard their actions and utterances and shun any move that will restart the disagreement.
Politics is struggling to ensure that things get better for you and for your people. So let them play it that way. We shall be well.
If there is peace in the state will develop. And we hope now that the governor, if they reconcile, will work truly with the House of Assembly. So both the executive arms and the legislative arms will collaborate for the development of the state. Things will move well in our state and we can attract investors.
Government is all about development. And if you don't have an environment for development to thrive, then the purpose of governance is defeated. So I think that what has happened between the FCT minister and the executive governor of Rivers State is a welcome development.
There has been one crisis after the other. Now, I pray that this should be the final one for the state to move forward.
It is expected that the latest peace accord will not only be respected, but marks the end of political crisis in Rivers State. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
Taking us back to the first story again. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has called on Nigerian judiciary and political leaders to stand firmly on the side of truth and justice as they serve the nation. Governor Fubara made the appeal at a state banquet, Government House in Port Harcourt, honoring retired after decades on the bench of the Court of Appeal. Tamno Barabi Iblubo has details.
It was an evening of tribute, rich cultural displays and music rendition in celebrating 40 years of meritorious service of Justice Obie Daniel Kalio to the nation's judiciary upon his retirement from the Court of Appeal. Prioritized integrity over personal gain. He described the honoree as a model for Rivers State and the nation, adding that the unprecedented state reception reflected the jury's distinguished record.
We will be calling you from time to time when the need arises to advise us to bring down this standard. That is the only way we can get back to that stage again. And our vision and our desire here is to make sure that River States continue to grow from strength to strength. It has not been an easy movement. I feel very, very humble and opportune. I use the word opportunity to say that those of you that are here today, those of you that are celebrating one of your own are very special to us in Rivers State. I have the reason why I'm saying that. We can't pay you, but God will pay you. Justice Danepalo, you will continue to shine. We, as the government, will look for other areas where we'll make sure that we'll do something to show that you are a right model.
In her remarks, Solicitor General of the Ministry of Justice, Vera Samdike, praised the retired justice's fairness and loyalty to the rule of law. Responding, Justice Daniel Kalio, former presiding justice of Appellate Courts Asaba Division, thanked the governor and described the judiciary as a stabilizing force in any progressive society. Tamno Barabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
Students and pupils should be provided the opportunity for an excursion to enable them see things for themselves. Administrative Officer Regal James Montessori Academy, a limbo in Obiapo local government area, Otobong Harry, stated this when he led teachers and pupils on excursion to River State Television Complex. Gaspar Nele has details.
Division activities such as excursion. He revealed that the excursion was educative and informative and thanked management of the station for the laudable contents. Otebong Harry described the Rego James Montessori Academy located at number 21 Road 3 Court Estate, Elimbu, as center of excellence, where children are provided with morals, quality education, creativity, and all-round academic programs. According to him, the academy, which was founded in 2018, has qualified teachers, spacious environment, teaching and learning. The administrative officer of the academy expressed satisfaction, stressing that the knowledge acquired will help to build and add value to the pupils' academic career.
No, we are not just a school that restricts pupils to classroom learning. We expose them to different endeavors, different fields. Of course, we are building them to become future leaders. So we don't just want to restrict them to learning in class, solving mathematics, but we give them, real life experience. So bringing them to River State Television, so expose them to what it takes. Most times they watch television, they see programs on television. So we want them to have, experience on how these programs are produced, how they are aired. Yes.
Some of the pupils also shared their experiences.
I saw the microphone, the makeup kit, the monitor, the camera, and the air condition. News is something that is new. Went to the newsroom, the control room, and the engineering.
The teachers and pupils were conducted around various divisions, including the news, programs, and the engineering, for a first-hand knowledge by a staff of the station, Supriye Jaja of the current affairs.
The public is hereby informed that the Honorable President of Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice M.B. Dongwan Mensem, has, in pursuant to Section 285, subsection 2 and 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and 130 of the Electoral Act 2022, has established the National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal Secretariat to hear and determine petitions that may arise from the forthcoming elections.
Rstv, your source for authentic coverage. View us on YouTube, Rstv Online, Facebook, and GoTV at channel 142.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thanks for staying with us. And now the second segment of the news. Federal government has ordered the immediate closure of a mining site in Plateau State after about 37 villagers reportedly died from inhaling toxic gases during a tsunami. That all activities within mining license 11810, operated by Solid Unit Nigeria Limited, be suspended after the tragedy in the Zurak community of Western local government area. Like I said, 25 other persons were hospitalized after exposure to suspected carbon monoxide at the mining site in Zurak, located in Western local government area. He said the victims were carrying out routine underground mining operations when they inhaled toxic gases believed to have accumulated in poorly ventilated tunnels. The minister has also dispatched a high-level investigative team led by the permanent secretary in the ministry, Yusuf Yabo, to determine both immediate and remote causes of the incident and recommend sanctions. Alake added that the team includes experts in mining, environmental compliance, and artisanal and small-scale mining cooperatives, stressing that the federal government would make further disclosures as investigations progress. Senate has criticized the federal government's enveloped by escalating security challenges. The upper chamber raised the concern during the 2026 budget defense session of the Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja, where lawmakers questioned officials over persistent funding gaps, delayed releases, and unimplemented capital projects. Chairman of the Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Senator Yahya Abdullahi, said the envelope budgeting framework had consistently fallen short of the operational requirements of Nigeria's security and intelligence agencies as the country continues to confront insurgency in the northeast, banditry and kidnapping in the northwest, and north-central separatist tensions in the southeast, and oil theft and piracy in the Niger Delta. He noted that the funding structure, which sets fixed expenditure ceilings for ministries, departments, and agencies, was too rigid for a section or sector that required flexibility and rapid response to evolving threats. Earlier, the chairman of the House of Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Ahmed Sotomi, stressed the need for synergy between the executive and legislative arms of government in strengthening national security. However, the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence also identified the envelope budgeting model as a major obstacle to the effective implementation of the 2025 budget. And our business news, Nigeria's debt to the World Bank's concessional lending arm, the International Development Association, IDA, has surged by $1.9 billion in just 1 year to reach $18.7 billion as of December 2025. According to the IDA management's discussion and analysis for the period ended December 31, 2025, Nigeria's exposure to the bank's loan portfolio raised significantly from $16.8 billion at the end of 2024, marking an 11.3% year-on-year increase. The sharp rise shows growing reliance on multilateral concessional financing as the federal government navigates tightening fiscal space amid global market volatility. The latest figures place Nigeria as the third largest borrower in the IDA portfolio, behind Bangladesh $23.0 billion and Pakistan $19.4 billion, among the top 10 countries with the highest exposure. With Nigeria's exposure now at $18.7 billion, higher than other major African IDA clients such as Ethiopia and Tanzania, the country's role in the World Bank's concessional portfolio remains prominent. While IDA loans offer more favorable terms than market borrowing, the steady accumulation of such debt adds to Nigeria's overall public debt burden, raising questions about debt sustainability. And now Hungary and Slovakia have announced that they would suspend diesel exports to Ukraine amid growing tensions over oil deliveries, saying they need to secure their energy supplies to replace imports of Russian oil through the damaged Druzhba pipeline, with Hungary also accusing Ukraine of political blackmail and interference. The row is another showcase of conflicts between the two EU governments, which are still importing large quantities of Russian crude oil via Ukraine, and Kyiv, which has repeatedly called on them to fully decouple themselves from Russian energy. Both Hungary and Slovakia say they have sufficient fuel reserves, but want to redirect diesel to their internal markets. Hungary and Slovakia also called on the European Commission to enable the transport of Russian crude oil through Croatian ports towards Hungary and Croatia. Ukraine is facing a severe energy crisis after Russian strikes caused intensive damage to infrastructure during winter. Nigeria's track and field athletes have intensified preparations for the forthcoming Commonwealth Games, with the national camp in Asaba entering its second week of a structured of Nigeria AFN is being held at the Stephen Kersey Stadium, where a blend of established internationals and emerging talents are undergoing rigorous sessions designed to build fitness and shopping techniques ahead of the games. Preparations have gradually shifted from general conditioning to event-specific drills programs, with morning sessions focused on endurance and strength work, and evening periods are dedicated to